What is going on, everybody? This is Slick from Breaking the Clutch, back with another Colony build video. Today we are looking at my favorite build thus far from the Colony DLC, and that is Skitterer Engineer. Oh my god, is this thing just damn annoying. It is great to use against basically any situation. Great for defense, great for teams, 1v1s, 2v2s. I just love this thing overall. Extractor first, pretty standard. Skitterer upgrade, and make your first Skitterer. Grab your supplies off the rip with your starting grunts, and you are rolling into the build. Now, the magic of this build is that it is, for lack of better words, unstoppable early game. It's really hard to get anti-air units out quick enough to put up with it. You definitely need help. So once your first Skitterer comes out, you're going to want to go ahead and grab supplies with that, but you don't want to go too far across the map. You really need those starting Skitterers. You go Harvester as soon as your Extractor is finished and upgrade the Extractor the second the Extractor completes. And then you're basically just going Harvesters, except for your fifth, where you go Extractor again. So as you can see, we're just waiting, going around the map, build more things. You don't want to make a second Skitterer for a little bit of time. The second you have enough power again, upgrade your first Harvester, just as I did there, and you're just getting ready for the flow of the game. Now, as you can see right here, a little bit of a choke. Didn't tell my Skitterer to grab supplies like an idiot. Throwing down another Harvester, and we are looking good. So you don't actually need to grab an Expo for this build. A lot of people are saying that for any kind of Skitterer opening, you need to go double base right off the rip. I do not believe in that at all. I think that if you Expo, you really leave yourself vulnerable for jackrabbit attacks and things like that. Now, as you're going to see also, I don't grab a mini base right away like a lot of other people do as well. I grab my power extractor. The reason for that is because you really want your supply eco to be good enough for Skitterer pump. Right around 4 minutes is where you really need to be worried about jackrabbits, even in the new patch post-meta. It's really not too bad. So there you go. I start moving out for my my mini base after I build my extractor. Right now, there we go. There's another Skitterer coming out. So we are in a great spot. So right now I believe we have 2 Skitterers on the map. Let's see, no, 1 Skitterer on the map. Second one was just made at around 140. So make sure that's when you have your second Skitterer in production. Upgrade your fifth Harvester, your second Harvester, fifth building as soon as it comes up, and use your grunts to scout across the map. Now, what you're going to see is I'm just going to use my Skitterers on my side of the map to grab supplies for this example. This is a I think it is a 3v3 map. For lack of better, actually I think it's 2v2 map. I'm an idiot. So for a 2v2 map, of course, there's a lot of supplies. You will play this in ones every now and again. What I do on my mini base is I throw down another Harvester and get ready for some serious eco pump. Now, what you're going to do is you're just trying to get as much power as possible with the Grunt Scout at around, say, early 2 minutes. You really need to do that because you need to know what they're going. Because if the other player is going to go for some kind of all-in rush strat, you want to make sure that you're ready to defend it. Because you won't have engineers up for the first 3 minutes, but you will have a lot of Skitterers. You're also going to start getting a lot of supply just kind of sitting around at this point in the game. So all you're going to do with that is mini base and turret up. Now, as you can see here, I got 2 turrets. First turret is up by 3 minutes, so that's kind of a nice little staple to be at. And as you can see with my Grunt Scout here against this pretty bad Colony AI, I will see that he is basically doing nothing. But in a real life scenario, you're going to be like, okay, shit, here comes a lot of rabbits, here comes Marines. So I'm going to just go ahead and tech up, make sure I have anti-infantry on my turrets, things like that, if that is the case. Now, right now, so at around 3:30, you're going to have your base upgrade begin, and you're going to have about 4 Skitterers. Now, with 2 turrets and 4 Skitterers, you are in a great place to defend. Generally speaking, players will focus fire the Skitterers, so all you got to do is skitter them around the map, pun intended, skitter them around your base, so that way the turrets just get to absolutely roast everything. If rabbits start focusing them, then you just start moving them around. The magic about Skitterers is the same as locusts, is that you can walk them around and they will continue firing. If you focus fire on a unit, they'll turn around and start attacking, but if you keep them moving, you will be in a good spot. And as you're going to see, I'm going to start upgrading my Harvesters as well, and I'm going to immediately throw down 2 air pads when I have the money. So we're in a great spot here to say just kind of get that map control. You should start moving your Skitterers around the map just like I do here to grab some power nodes. As you're going to see here, I'm just going to sit here and engage this chopper, almost losing a Skitterer to ram there. Damn, Skitterers are so weak. You really need to maintain your Skitterer pump this entire time. This is why 2 basing really is not a good idea in this scenario. Oh, nice little micro there, but that bastard ain't going to die today. So your first engineer is going to start production around 4:30. This is great. All your one-shot Skitterers, just basically save them to pair them up with engineers. Keep your full health ones on the ground for now. with all of these units coming out, we're going to be in a great spot. Notice how I'm still not pushing. I'm still not attacking. I'm still not putting anybody in the ground yet. All I'm doing is pushing around the map, grabbing power nodes. You really don't need a massive surge of power. I got the upgrade from my Skitterer the second I had 400. You're going to need that as well because engineers with Skitterers is great, but having that extra attack power, range, damage is even better for you. Now, with these Skitterers in particular as well, you're going to notice I'm just going to keep them in a forward position, wait for my first engineer to come up. There we go, one shot paired up with that engineer, just so that I don't have to worry about that thing getting picked off. Now I'm going to use the Skitterers to start taking out power nodes on the map. Now, with engineers in particular, it depends on your situation. If you are under some heavy fire and you need some clutch plays, produce more engineers than Skitterers. Stop your Skitterer production for a minute, just so you can start getting as much of your buildings and turrets healed up as possible. Make sure you put the engineers right on the turrets if you're still undergoing attack. I've had this before, where it's at a 2v2 scenario, had just constant attacks from the other side. Just make your engineers sit on your base, heal those turrets. They will not fall against any early pressure in the first 6 minutes with enough engineer combinations. And then as soon as you start mounting up the Skitterers to them, their engineers can start attacking from a long distance, as well as healing up everything. So right around the 6-minute mark, I'm going to start moving up. So in this particular scenario, I have control of the game. I'm not being attacked. I'm feeling good. I'm starting to upgrade my air units as well, just to help out the engineers just a little bit more. Now, keep in mind as well, you cannot focus fire units with engineers Skitterers, so what you need to do is just constantly skirt them around the map. Yes, I just said that. Just keep flying them around so they can pick them off from a distance. Constant engineer Skitterer production. You're going to hit a point where you have a shit ton of power and supply at the same time. And when that is the case, you just want to think about expanding. Now, only expand, of course, if you have the upper hand. See, as I'm still in a forward position on his side of the map, I'm feeling comfortable. Now, the second you get the opportunity to, you want to upgrade to Colony Drop. That is the most important leader power because the timing that you get this drop is almost perfect. Look at this. The second I show up to the base here, make sure you also use your Engineer Shield ability. That really helps. Now, you're going to see I only have about 6 engineers in this engagement, but the Skitterer support is so great that even like Marauders, turrets, whatever, cannot rinse these units. They have so much health and everything that they just constantly heal themselves. And it's insane because the engineers are healing and the Skitterers that are attached to them are just absolutely raining hell upon just about every unit. Hence why I said this is super annoying for anybody to deal with. I start producing the Goliaths, I get the Goliaths from the Colony Drop. With the engineers on the Goliaths, just focus fire the turrets with Goliaths if they have any. If not, go straight for infantry units or just buildings themselves. Now, what you're going to see here is just like he even has 2 engineers out on his side. He's just copying my build. I see that it's taking a while for me to melt these units, so I'm going to start throwing in a few Banshees. That's kind of the magic of this. Now, like I said, at this point in the game, if the enemy player has scouted you, then he might have a sizable anti-air army. With the amount of engineers you'll have, just keep producing them and then start making Banshees after. Just kind of what I'm doing here, maybe a few more engineers before you do the swap into it, simply because there just won't be enough anti-air units. Now, if the enemy player didn't rush you and just went straight for anti-air, you'd be in a bad spot. So that's the importance of the early scout. Seeing that they haven't done anything with your grunt way in the beginning gives you the opportunity to prepare accordingly. So there you go. I've got Air 2 done. I got so much power that I'm just going to tech right up into Tech 3 to make sure I get the Fortify and all that. I can do whatever I want. Right around here is where I should be thinking about expanding. Here I am. Like I said, importantly, you cannot focus fire units with the Skitterers and the engineers. So I'm hitting X there. The Skitterers just shoot whatever the hell they want. So what you need to do is constantly just fly your engineers around. They will heal on the go, making them an incredibly viable attack source for this big push right here. Once again, the Goliaths are just going to keep rinsing everything. You're going to see once I start getting enough units over here, I'm going to start attaching Skitterers to Goliaths to give them more HP as well, and of course more damage. And things just will go absolute hell. And of course, look at the upgraded Skitterers, man. First off, the animation of their attack, their beams are so cool. And secondly, just the absolute range they have makes it great because you can just fly the engineers around, keep skirting. They're just like Sentinels at that point, in my opinion. Not as strong, not nearly as strong, but much more versatile since they can heal up. As you're going to see here, just keeping all my units on this side of the base. Every single building here is just getting melted. Starting to focus the Goliaths. If you start getting a base absolute one-shot with all the buildings and such, just fly your engineers away to a point where the Skitterers can only attack the main base. You're going to see me do that in a minute. And just start producing more Banshees so that way hell is just raining from above onto your enemy base. So at this point, you pretty much won the game if you've gotten this far. If not, you might need to make a tech swap into some vehicles. do a little bit of fancy colony play with some symbiotes. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you get the game. But this is kind of how it looks. This is the gist. If you open this, you can do this in 1s, 2s, or 3s, and you will find some success. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to let the rest of this game play out. Hope you enjoyed. Slick from Breaking the Clutch, and we'll see you guys next time.
All units. All units.